Welcome back to the Retire Young Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to the Retire Young Podcast on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. Welcome to the big show. It's the Retire Young Radio Show. And if you're a first-time listener, thanks for stopping by. I'm your host, Joshua David, and we are happy to have you with us today. Alongside me, actually in front of me today, I have my good friend Al Connickson. Al, how you doing today?
I am doing fantastic. How about yourself?
I can't say I can do any better than that. It's always great to be back helping our Retire Young family make better investing decisions. So we have a big show here for you today. We're going to talk about financial literacy. Now is probably one of the most important times that we need to talk about this. We have a lot going on with this financial market, Al. Different things that are happening, and I have a few different concerns. We have obviously the coronavirus going on, but I have another concern. People aren't taking advantage of this phenomenal opportunity that we're seeing right now. Right. We're seeing a lot of volatility, big up days, well, a couple here and there, but major down days. And a lot of people are, I don't think they're quite understanding how much of an opportunity it is. But what are you seeing right now with these opportunities? But how are you helping people be comfortable taking advantage of this opportunity that we're seeing?
Yeah, well, and one of the reasons that people aren't taking advantage of it, Josh, is that they don't know how to. This is a different kind of market. We've gone through a long period of time with the longest bull market in history. People get used to that. They get complacent and they think this is going to continue, that the Fed's always going to step in like they did from the year 2009 on up.
And they tried last week with a quick interest rate cut.
That's correct. And they still, things will be done. I know a lot of people are panicking right now. They're concerned about what's happening. But understand this, the market, and I've talked about this before, where the market is like a rubber band. You stretch it out. At some point in time, it goes back to its normal condition. And that will happen here, too. This market has gone through depressions, recessions, wars, World War I, World War II. It always comes back. So, and then the point is that even if you weren't able to take advantage of the down market, and we have talked about this, numerous times, where it's just an opportunity to make money in a different direction. If for some reason you didn't know how to do that, and I'm going to talk more about how to do that in the second segment, but if you didn't, know that at some point in time there's going to be another great opportunity when this market goes back up again. And the point I think that's really important, Josh, is be prepared. It's sort of like maybe you want to look at this as Boy Scout, Girl Scout investing. They always say be prepared, right? And that's the case, because what happened here with the coronavirus, that's what we would call a black swan incident. That's something that kind of comes out of left field. You don't expect that. You can't plan on that happening. But when something like that happens and has a big impact on the markets, just look at a different way of investing. If you are in a typical buy and hold strategy, which is what Wall Street is, that's the go-to for Wall Street, you're only in something that's going to make money in one direction, and that's an up direction.
Well, you actually opened up a can of worms there, because you mentioned the buy and hold strategy. I've been seeing a lot of things on TV right now where they're saying, don't make emotional decisions.
Correct.
Well, what's happening is people are becoming, I would say they're putting their head in the sand.
That's right. Burying your head in the sand.
And that's what happened in 2008. People did nothing because they didn't want to make an emotional decision. But we're not trying to scare you. You just want to be able to take advantage of this opportunity.
Right. And Wall Street's advice now is don't panic. Basically, I think that just means, buckle up and ride it out.
Yeah.
Don't panic. And then the advice is, you should always have an emergency fund. You should have a lot of cash, because at some point in time, there's going to be a great buying opportunity here. The problem is, for a lot of people, there isn't the money there when that opportunity presents itself.
And also the psychology of people. People wait till it gets to the bottom to finally get out. But then, like you said, they have nothing to buy back in. But when do they get in? At the very top.
Well, everybody out there, I think, knows that you're supposed to buy low and sell high. That's a basic. Everyone knows that. But what I think a lot of people don't understand is that you do exactly the opposite as a human being. When this market is going up, and we're taught, actually we're conditioned to buy in a bull market and sell in a bear market. You know who does exactly the opposite of that? It's Warren Buffett, the pros and Warren Buffett.
The institutions.
Warren Buffett always says, be greedy when others are fearful, and be fearful when others are greedy. Basically what he's saying, when he says be fearful when others are greedy, that's at the top of a market. That's when things are peaking out. That's actually potentially the riskiest point in the market. And be greedy when others are fearful, when is that? That's at the bottom of a market. When people panic and the pain takes over, it's a mindset thing. You have to get used to understanding. Well, first of all, one of the things we do is we teach people how the markets function, what really moves the price of something. A lot of people have been conditioned to look at fundamentals or some of the technical analysis, things that are out there. I mean, there are hundreds of those. Unfortunately, most of those are lagging indicators. And fundamentals, the problem is you can't always trust the fundamentals. And even if they are accurate, by the time the average person, the public, has a chance to analyze things, look at the balance sheet, for example, Wall Street's already made the move because they have that information before we do. Sometimes we never get it. And then the fundamentals aren't always accurate. I mean, look at a company like Enron.
They can be fabricated, too.
Exactly. Tyco, Waste Management, HealthSouth. A lot of these companies have presented facts and figures or used accounting gimmicks that aren't actually true, and it hurts the public. But this is an opportunity. There's a great opportunity for those of you that were prepared. You're probably doing very well in this down market.
Yep.
For those of you that are prepared, you're going to do very well when it comes back up. If you're not prepared, how do you do that? Well, you need to get the proper education. It all gets down to education. The guys that are making money, the pros that are out there, didn't start with the skills and the knowledge to be able to do that. They had to learn it somewhere. A lot of them did learn it through trial and error. We don't want you to do that. To get the proper education, learn it from somebody that knows how to do this, that has experience, and then learn the skills to use that knowledge. It's a combination of things.
And that's exactly what we do at those classes. And one of the things you mentioned, buying low and selling high. Like you said, everybody knows that. But we do the opposite because we're conditioned and trained to do that. And think of it this way. How you buy and sell anything in life should be exactly how you want to do it in the financial markets. Buy when things are cheap and sell when things are at a high price. And, if you're not prepared for whatever's to come, I mean, this market could continue to go back up. This market could continue to go back down. And if you're not prepared, what are you going to do? And it's not making emotional decisions. It's just taking action. And taking action is, like you said, Al, taking that action to learn how to do that, get the education. One of the things we do is we teach people how to get into the financial market safely, no matter which way this market goes. Al, we got a big, important show. What do you got coming up next?
Yeah, we've got a lot to talk about here. Let's talk about some of the lessons that can be learned during turmoil like this.
Thanks for listening to the podcast. Don't forget to check out our website at retireyoungaudio.com.